All right, here we go. And you guys are my favorite today on the show.
Yeah, I was gonna say he says it every week. Go ahead.
I do. And welcome back to the Dean Obeidallah Show. It's Friday, October 17th. It's no King's Eve. And the third hour, I can't think of three great comedians better to break it all down for us. Maureen Langan is back, stand-up comic, commentator, former Bloomberg TV radio journalist, and she went to the finals on America's Got Talent and was defeated by one of the other comedians on the show today. No, she wasn't.
No, by a dog. By a dog.
Were you defeated by a dog?
I lost to a dog, and I said all of us lost to a dog. We were so depressed, we decided we're going to start a support group and open a kill shelter.
I'm sorry.
But never. I love dogs. I actually take in senior dogs. Same reason I date older men. But anyway.
Maureen is the Christy Nome of comedy. And there's Carole Montgomery is holding up her adorable dog right for us right now for people watching this. National headliner, made countless TV appearances, and is the star and creator of Showtime special Funny Women of a Certain Age.
Yes.
Carole, nice to see you. And I know you guys are touring too, right?
Yeah, we're touring all over the place. So, but the thing about when you tour when you're over a certain age, it's not fun anymore.
Was that over 30? Because that's when it was not fun.
No, I just don't bounce back the way I do. Like if I go away for a weekend, that's long for me. I used to go away for weeks at a time. Like I'm like, really, what is this? 2 nights? I can't. I just can't.
Real one. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And look who's here. Jason of many different last names. Salmon is what he's going with now. Today's week. He's got a baby teddy bear.
I do.
Texas-born, New York-based stand-up comic. That's a real accent, so everyone knows. Countless national TV appearances, commercials, and stand-up special, Biscuits and Gravy, currently on YouTube.
Biscuits and Gravity.
Gravity, I know. I see.
That's all right. No, you mispronounced my name. You mispronounced my special. That's our standard intro.
Don't you have like a weekly show of some sort online?
I do. I just got done putting it out this morning. It's called Another Weird Week. I wrap up the week in politics, put a little spin on it, make it funny and colloquial.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things when I go on Instagram and I see it. I'm like, it always just makes me giggle.
I'm just glad you didn't call it What Just Happened, because you stole the idea from this show, clearly, because no one's ever done a weekend review segment before this show. So
it was just a venting session for me. That's how it started.
Well, this is very good. I'm going to go check. I always say I'm going to check it out, and I don't. But this time I might actually.
You won't. You won't. But I still love you, Dean.
Thank you, Jason Salmon. It's Saul like Better Call Saul, and Munn like Olivia Munn.
There we go.
Salmon. Boom. Who did that? That's right.
You did it.
So I can't pronounce his last name. After knowing him for 8 years.
I'm a simple person. All right, but Montgomery and Langan are simple. These are easy names, like Obeidallah. They're all easy names.
That's okay. I call you Dean Obi-Wan Kenobi. So don't worry about it. But
I call it Doobie Abadaba. So it's
okay. Let's talk about the young Republicans and text messages and they were, just so people know, these weren't children, the way J.D. Vance is saying. They were from their mid-20s to mid-30s. They were in New York, Kansas, Arizona, Vermont. There were thousands of messages on Telegram. They thought they were never going to be seen, so they showed their real selves. And some of the things we covered on my show include one of them writing, "I love Hitler," which may have been a joke, but that's an odd joke. Others include things that were not funny about Jews, saying you can't expect the Jew to be honest. Others, anti-LGBTQ slurs, use of the N-word, saying black people are, quote, the watermelon people. It was like the Nazis at play. Like, we get to see the fun, like they're actually joking around and having fun here. But I'm kind of weirded out. They left out Muslims, and I'm not sure why. My people were not in this mix, and I am needy. So I'm like, they don't even care about us anymore. So Carole, let's start with you, because J.D. Vance downplayed it, saying it was youthful indiscretion when the people were in their mid-20s or 30s. It's not hard to denounce this. It's really easy to denounce this, but J.D. Vance wouldn't. Instead, he did whataboutisms and downplayed it on the Charlie Kirk podcast, which they're doing obviously after Charlie Kirk said they still do, and he goes on it. So Carole, is this just MAGA at play? Am I missing something?
First of all, I'm glad you asked me this question, because as the mother of the group, let me just say that this is first of all, these are not little boys. Okay, these are grown men. I remember one time when my son was in Little League. So we're talking, he was like 12, 13 years old. There was a bunch of, let's say, hooligans on the team, and the commissioner of the baseball, like, they always started shit. And the woman, there was a female commissioner. She was like, "Well, Carole, boys will just be boys. No, they're being fucking assholes." Okay. And so when you bring up a child with no consequences, this is what they become. They become Nazis. The fact that he said that, like, I wish somebody would have said to him, they're grown men. They're not.
And women too. Don't forget there were women.
I don't know. The woman.
There was one was the one that said the thing about the Jews was.
She said something about burning. She just said something about burning us in the chambers, which is like,
she's a national committee person on the National Young Republican Party. I mean, this is not a joke. This is really effed up stuff.
But as we're all comedians, and we do there's a line, and we do cross it sometimes, but there's a difference between crossing the line and it being funny. When I would bring up my son and talk to his friends, I said, you can always say anything, but it has to be funny. You can't punch down. You can't be racist. You can't be anti-LGBTQ. And some of the kids were like, well, why can't we say that? I'm like, because there's a line. And it pisses me off as a comic to use that. Well, we were just joking. It's like when a guy rapes a woman, I didn't really put it in. It's bullshit.
Wow. So if it's like neo-Nazi chuckle hut, if it's funny, it's okay. But if it's not funny, that's the line for Carole.
I think those jokes would not even play well in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
No, that's funny. And Maureen, one of them used the white supremacist code 1488. They said, what hotel room you're in? And he said 1488, because that's funny. 14 are the 14 words of the white supremacist manifesto to protect the white race and the white children. 88 is how white supremacists and neo-Nazis say Heil Hitler. H is the eighth letter of the alphabet. So they use this all the time. So this is the kind of humor. This is the world that's going on with younger Republican leaders. These are one's a state senator. This is the future of the Republican Party. But how different is it from Trump and what we hear from them?
No different from Trump. It's an extension of Trump. It is part of Trump. These are Trump's offspring. And, Carole's talking about making jokes. They're not making jokes. So there isn't this line that we can kind of play with. If they want to, the Republicans have money. If they want to hire me to punch up some of their humor, I'm happy to do that. But the thing is, listen, I would have gone to Saudi Arabia and done some self-circumcision. I don't care what it was for the kind of money they were paying comedians. Are you out of your mind? I would have been there in a minute. But this isn't funny. It's abhorrent. It's disgusting. And it is. And if you saw those guys, they don't use the number 69 because they're never going to have a chick in their life. They're disgusting. But what really upset me most about this is the defense of it. It's so upsetting to me that these aren't people. These are not a bunch of guys who are just hanging out and trying to outdo each other with their grossness. These are people who represent the Republican Party and the future of the Republican Party in chapters across America. Get that into your heads. This is not some guys trying to be funny at the ballpark. And what Vance said, this human piece of crap with his mascara, no, we're not doing this. We're not canceling kids, grown-ass men, because they did something stupid in a group chat. And if I have to be the person who carries that message forward, I'm fine with that. He is fine with supporting and protecting what they did. I wonder how he felt about Jimmy Kimmel, who I thought his joke was hilarious, that Trump was in the fourth stage of grief, which is construction. So this is disgusting. And we have to be really shining a light on it, and everybody should be disgusted by this.
I agree. Now for the counter argument, Jason.
Well, yeah, I know. I realize. I'm glad you didn't come to me first because I do realize I look like the spokesperson for said group.
You would have been
not necessarily the spokesperson.
Have you seen them? You're hot, mister. Have you seen those slobs? Come on.
Yes.
They've been doing a lot of biscuits and gravy.
The young Rotundians. That's what I like to refer to them as. No, look, I'm going to give JD Vance the benefit of the doubt. He called them boys. I think he mixed up the word boys and virgins. I think he probably conflated those. So I'm going to give him a pass on that. But the fact is, by criticizing their racism, you realize that the new template said we are participating in hate speech by criticizing their racism. I think that's what we learned through Charlie Kirk's memorial and all that stuff. We learned that if you do criticize racism, that's what it is. I mean,
we're gonna have to cut the reference to Charlie Kirk out of the broadcast, by the way.
Are we?
No.
Okay, good.
We have certain talking points when it comes to.
I'm sorry. We got to come up with a numerical code for Charlie Kirk. You know,
I love that.
Our Charlie Kirk for 1488.
I think those numbers will work well for him.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, which by the way, 1488 was the most subtle reference on that whole thing. Like,
you had to actually Google it.
Like
figure it out.
I got to be honest. When I saw 1488, I'm like, well, at least somebody's practicing some constraint. I feel like that at least didn't pop off the page, you know. And I think that was admirable. You know, when you're around a lot of people who are degenerates, all you have to be is, you know, all you have to do is smile at somebody and you're suddenly the kindest person on the block. So
that's the subtle comedian of the group. That was the
yes,
subtle.
yes,
He's the thinker. He's the
wordsmith.
That was the alternative comedian. The rest are like gas chambers, burn them alive. This guy's 1488. Like, well, I like how you're clever. It's like, remember the comics in the 1990s, like the alt rooms here in New York? Like,
yes.
It wasn't really funny, but you could see what they were.
But you're like, I see what you're doing.
To be funny,
yeah.
But it made you think of something that could be funny one day, and the industry's like, genius.
Yes. Yes. You're like, that's not funny, but I feel like it's a good premise for a 90s movie script. You know, so I feel like I think that as comedians, I think we should have the final say over what is a joke and what is not a joke. And my advice as somebody who's done comedy for a long time and seen a lot of people tell jokes who aren't comedians, if you are telling a joke that is edgy, it is a slur, not a joke.
Yeah,
that is
hard rule.
Maureen wants to add something.
I'd like to add to this. You know how they have the funniest lawyer night or the funniest dentist
I've done that.
night?
That's why I started my first comedy show ever.
There we go.
That's right. The funniest lawyer show in New Jersey. And I didn't even win this summer.
We'll help you. But I think they should just be on the funniest racist night. That's what they should just have, their own night, so that the criteria is a little different. But also, on a serious note, keep in mind, I keep going back to this point. These weren't just a bunch of degenerates in rooms chatting with each other. These are the future of the Republican Party. Keep that in mind. That's so important because these are the people who want to lead the way moving forward in our country. And they are in the mold of Donald Trump. It's really frightening.
They haven't yet learned how to do it by gutting the Voting Rights Act and calling Obama sinister for helping healthcare. You know, they haven't refined their techniques. So we catch them when they're not yet fully formed.
They're in development. Yes. Carole had her hands up. Carole was being very.
You bring up the whole thing with the outrage on their side during the whole thing that happened when Charlie Kirk was killed.
Yeah.
I mean, 1523, but the fact that people were, it's just the level of hypocrisy, you know, every day I go, oh, it can't get any more hypocritical than this. Oh, I was wrong. I mean, it just blows my mind. It's like, how could you, I'm bringing back what Maureen said about Kimmel. That was a brilliant fucking joke.
Yeah.
And it was a joke. It wasn't even a joke about that guy. It was a joke about the other guy, and they decided, oh, we have to, and then the vice president of the United States is poo-pooing this. I mean, what the actual?
By the way, if you saw what he said in defending them, he actually said, and you know, because some scumbag releases comments that you make, it ruins your career. He didn't call the guys who made these comments scumbags. He called the person who released them. He literally used that word. I was like, you're kidding me. I can't believe, like, this is the worst school principal ever. Like, he's in favor.
Weird, it's weird that the lesson he took from this was cancel culture is bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when women get raped by Epstein and his crowd, they're girls, but they call them women. You know, they're all women, but they're teenage girls.
Underage women.
When it's men, underage women. They're not girls.
Yeah.
But when it's disgusting men who are gross, it's boys, the little boys. Well, don't ruin their career. It's like the guy who does the date rape in college. You're going to ruin his career. You know, at Stanford, you can't ruin his career. This guy who just raised, he has a career. I hate people so much.
I don't know. Don't make me hate you. But look, you know, after we talk about how horrible this thing, then this other story almost seems
Oh.
like over the too much of a penalty. I'm not, to me, it was a baseball game. The Dodgers playing the Brewers this week in an NC National League Championship Series, and a woman there, and there's Brewers fans at the Dodger game, right? Why they went there, I don't know, but they went there and they were losing the Brewers, and some Dodger fan began taunting them, saying, "Why are you so quiet?" And the guy's Latino, and this woman says, "You know what? I'm going to call ICE." And then he says, "ICE is not going to do anything to me. I was born here. I'm a veteran." Then she lost her job and she got thrown off the Make-A-Wish Foundation board, which I know what her wish was, apparently.
Yeah.
We know what it is now involved. ICE and brown people.
Mass
But
deportation.
but she suffered more of a consequence than these young guys who talk about Hitler and rape and vile things. And look, that's up to her boss. The guy didn't call for her to be fired. No one said anything. The story became that she got fired. And I thought it was interesting because, look, she's joking a little bit about it, but this is the climate we live in. And I don't even know if she's MAGA. She might not be a Republican. We just don't know. Her go-to is because the climate we live in, I'm going to get ICE to get rid of you, which is concerning that if she's not MAGA, it's even more concerning if she's not MAGA. Like, that's where her mind went to. We'll get rid of the brown people.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I watched the video. Okay, I'm sorry. I watched the video, and when I read the story, I'm like, oh, this is another gross thing, But then when I watched the video, he's like, the guy on the camera is tormenting them.
I know he is, right.
He
And
seems like
Dodgers fans are terrible. When any team that wins a bunch, terrible to begin with.
So you're fine with ICE rating them, and that's what you're getting.
No.
Yeah, I'm getting
No.
Sorry, just want to be clear. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So he's on the camera taunting them. Oh, look who's so quiet. Oh, those fans are so quiet. And she's like, oh, stop. And then she's like, I'm going to call ICE. But like, I could see somebody in the moment just doing it to kind of rip him back because he was brown, not because I didn't get the vibe that she was just, I felt like she was taunting him back, but not in the way it read. Not that it's right, but it seemed a lot tamer on video than how it read. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody demanded she get fired. The boss saw the video, went viral.
Yeah.
Said, I don't want this person to work here anymore. And that's a boss's choice. Like, you're going to say we have a diverse workforce, and this woman could have been a really nice person up until here. But to have that's where the problem is. And that's a society we live in that people don't get. It's not freedom of speech. You can say it. It's not freedom from consequences. That's what people want. And I mean, Carole, what do you think? I mean, it's kind of interesting because I know Lori Kilmartin has a joke. It's a joke on stage about her ex-husband, but they were together and she would always say, because he's an immigrant, she had ICE on speed dial. She had immigration on speed dial, that kind of thing. So it's actually jokey on some level, like she's trying to be funny here, as opposed to the douchebags from the Young Republicans.
True. I will say this, that obviously as a Met fan, how many times have I been at a Phillies game? And this shit is nothing. This whole, that's bullshit. There's fisticuffs, I mean, at most of these games, so I mean.
It's the Phillies, really.
The Phillies.
Philly's a horrible city. We should build a wall around it. That's my.
but the fact that I want to say, and I apologize, I have not gone in depth into the whole thing with these young assholes. I thought that they were like relieved of their duties in their.
Oh, the other guys. Some of them were, and one still works in the Trump minute. But I was just talking about this.
Wait, Dean. He still works in the Trump administration. He's probably going, can I have the cell phone numbers of those other guys? I want to make them cabinet members.
Yeah.
As soon as
they got promoted.
Right, they got promoted. So he doesn't think it's bad. It's just, like, go back to being a mom. Like I'm one of the things I'm proudest about raising my son is when you meet my son's a good human being. I raised him with morals and ethics and everything. Nice. I'm a little pissed at that he wasn't a little sleazy, but how do you raise a kid in this environment? How do you say to a child, be good, treat people with kindness, when you see the vice president going, well, they were just kidding, they were fooling around? I don't understand it.
That's he's appealing to the brosphere, whatever it is. So, Jason, all right, unless you want to talk about it, I want to shift to the no kinks. That's the biggest thing.
I do want to say one thing.
Please.
That woman had the unfortunate status of not having visited Mar-a-Lago yet. And had she, that is the mosquito repellent for consequences.
I like
that. So that's the key. If you can go to Mar-a-Lago, don't get hooked in. If you buy a watch, you do not qualify. That is not the case. Also, your watch won't work.
Oh, from them. So you got to go to
Yeah.
Maureen.
Oh, he's selling watches. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sells everything: sneakers, watches,
Yes.
cologne.
Yeah.
So
His
tomorrow is the
grandson.
big No Kings rally, and
Mhm.
Democrats say No Kings, Republicans say I love Hitler. I think that's a fair point, isn't it? Like
Yes.
JD Vance defends it, but
Well,
tomorrow
that's
is
how
the
you know
big
who hates America.
by who doesn't defend.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure where that goes. All right, so Jason, No Kings, are you going to anything? Are you down with it? Is it exciting? You think what kind of turnout you think we'll get?
I think it's going to be a huge turnout. I think you can tell it's going to be a huge turnout because the trembling of the GOP is palpable. I mean, they're expecting it to be multiples of the last one, which set records for the marches. I think the thing that people got to watch out for is that there's going to be saboteurs. I guarantee you, because you saw what they're doing in Portland, where which was the perfect way to combat it. It's like you're going to try to make a video of a confrontation, so we're going to have you confronting a guy in a frog outfit. Yeah, and on a deep level, you're confronting what is sort of the mascot of the alt-right, so it's going to backfire on many ways. But that's the thing this should be joyful, it should be connective, it should be solidarity. I mean, that's what people need to understand, that there's a lot of people who there's a lot of farmers who aren't happy about the fact that they can't. You're going to see a lot more soybean specific occupations out at this one, probably.
Well, we're going to bail out the farmers in Argentina for $20 billion, but we're not going to help our
Well,
own.
not the farmers. We're going to bail out the failing
The
politicians.
leaders. Right. But I
Yes.
mean, so Maureen, I mean, first of all, on the upside, I mean, what are you expecting? And then secondly, how concerned are you that, Jason said that there'll be agitators and MAGA people trying to get violence. And on some level, Trump wants that. We know Trump wants violence.
Yeah. Oh, I hope people stay focused, angry, but not reactive. That's my hope. Just don't react. I just have class. Don't break anything. Don't punch anybody. Believe me, I get through Thanksgiving at the Langans. You can do this. You can do this. But the thing is, I'm kidding. My family's good. But I want it to be packed. Have your soybean signs. Have your women's rights signs. Immigrant rights signs. I just want it to be a peaceful, packed day. But it's interesting that the Republicans are branding this as a day of hate against America, whereas January 6th was a day of love.
That's what Trump said, right?
I'm still so angry. I'm sorry. I can't get out of my head that he can bring out the National Guard to every little city he wants, but he couldn't do it to the Capitol on January 6th. How is that possibly possible? It's bullshit. It's all total bullshit. But I want people to come out en masse. I'm actually hosting a special event for, this is not a joke, for people with disabilities from birth to end of life. So it's a big fundraiser on the West Coast for them. I do it every year. So these are people like with integrated preschool, where children with full abilities go to school with kids who need special needs, to helping people find independent housing and jobs. And it's called Ability Path. And it's just, so my day is going to be spent helping them raise money to help people who really benefit from it and are decent.
That's great.
That's very nice. That's too nice. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable.
I love it.
Yeah.
Carole, what about
I will tell you this. Kindness is a huge affront to them. So that's very much a protest of this administration. So
it's a eugenics administration. Carole, what do you think? Are you doing anything? Are you going to any kind of protest? Are you going to yell at people outside the window? Or
the protest is like 10 blocks away from my house, so there's a good chance I will pop in and say hi.
They'll come through your living room.
Yeah, come through my living room. But the reason I'm hesitant, and it has nothing to do with, and I agree with Jason about the agitators, is that I like Maureen, really hate people.
Really?
And
I can vouch for that.
Yes, and
you hate them when there's a lot of them, I would imagine.
I don't like I don't like large crowds. I'm not good in large crowds.
I've seen your show. That's right. You like to draw 12 or 13 people.
What?
You like to draw audiences of 12 or 13 people.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
What a jerk.
Come on, this is
I
it's
prefer
comedy.
one-on-one. I prefer one-on-one.
One-on-one. That's the best audience. I've joked at my shows. We have the best comic to audience ratio in the city, right here. It's like 1 to 1.
But so, you know, during the first time he was president, my son went to a lot of the Black Lives Matters protests and all that stuff, and the organizations and the people that are surrounding this, everyone is aware of what they have to and what they can't do. You know, there's things online now saying, make sure you take off Face ID from your phone, make sure you don't have tracking stuff, make sure you wear a mask, or because they could be stuff from the woo-woo verse. You know, they could have cameras. You want to make sure your face is covered just in case they want to target you. But the most important thing, and this is going to be really tough in New York because we're pissed off all the time, is not to, like what Maureen said, don't react. If someone bumps into you as a New Yorker, you usually go, what the fuck? What'd you fucking do?
Right.
You can't do that. You have to just go, have a nice day, and just keep going.
The weird thing about New York is this is actually one of the few times that we're not as angry. We're like, oh, we're all going in the same direction. You're not just preventing me from getting where I'm going.
You want
except for
you want to
those
see right the anger that you
tourists in pink going, where's the airplane?
Yeah, just be nice to the idiots.
To me, the great, what I enjoy is the anger, like at Walgreens, when there's only one register open and like 9 people online, and someone walks in like, "What's this bullshit?" You know, like they just storm out. Like they're organically angry, like something horrific had just happened. Like it's like, okay, you're gonna have to wait, and I hate it too. We have no patience. New Yorkers, I think, the defining characteristic for people in the tri-state area, especially in New York City, is lack of patience. Like, we're not going to wait. I'll come back. I'll come back later. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm not going to wait now. I'll come back. There's like one less person. I'm like, okay, you see, it was worth it.
I was online at Starbucks and there was nobody there. It was just me. And the woman was making a latte and it took too long. I went, I'm gone. I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts. I was
That's right. They're like, Carole,
that is intense.
Carole, a double mocha cappuccino. All right. So I want to take a quick break. We'll come back. So much more to cover. We're not even going to get through all the topics, but that's fine. We're having fun here. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back with more of this show right after this. And welcome back, Dean Obeidallah Show. We're continuing with what just happened with our friends Carole Montgomery, Maureen Langan, and Jason Salmon. What? Salmon?
Salmon.
Salmon. Damn it! All right, I found this
so
amusing.
close. You're so good.
Trump goes to the Middle East, and there's peace. By the way, it's all done. Thank God. It's all worked out. He just took his trip. But what I love is that
nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
A Nobel, not a Nobel, like a Nobel.
No, yeah.
I love that this comment, and the media just repeats this like it's real. He was signing the deal, and he goes, "This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? Israel was only created in 1947. Christianity is only 2,000 years old. Islam is 1,400 years old. Who was fighting there 3,000 years ago that is a party to this agreement?" And the media just regurgitates this bullshit with no one going 3,000, and he said it over and over. 3,000 years ago. Go ahead.
Sorry. He had a big impact on Mesopotamia. A lot of people don't know what he was able to do.
Yeah. That's where the Trump family fortune came from, right?
Yeah. Mesopotamia?
All their deals in Mesopotamia.
The modern day Iraq.
If you read Aramaic, you'll understand. Like, the whole thing is it's so embarrassing to have such a stupid person at the helm. A man who takes pleasure in not reading. What's his library going to be? Why are they building a Trump library? What's going to be in there? One upside down Bible? What is going to be in there? It's so crazy.
But Carole, shouldn't someone in the media, no one in the media challenges them at all now. The corporate media is so like the fealty, the idea of like, we don't want to upset them, we're going to lose access. Someone should have said, but this conflict only began in 1940. So what are you talking about 3,000 years ago? And let him just say whatever bullshit he wants to, at least pretend to ask a follow-up.
Well, I think corporate media, I mean, when this is all said and done, and hopefully sooner than later, we now know not to believe anything with corporate media. I agree with you. I mean, I would love to just be in the press pool for a day. You know, and the first thing I would just say to him was just lighten the fuck up, okay? Just take a fucking breath. Nobody likes you. We know that. You see, I think all of this would have been resolved None of this would have happened if they would have just let him have a table at Elaine's.
A long time ago, which is a famous place in New York where celebrities used to go to, and it's closed. So they didn't let him at Elaine's? That what
No, he was.
I didn't know that.
This whole
had a chip on his
presidency
shoulder.
is because he wanted to be part of the New York elite, and we didn't let him. And if they had just said, we have a table, it's by the bathroom, but you're in Elaine's, none of this shit would happen.
That's kind of interesting. So, Jason, I mean, when you look at corporate media now, it's kind of stunning to see the lack of pushback, that they fear access so much, the loss of access, that we don't see. Like, there would not be a Woodward and Bernstein now. There would not be a Watergate now. They would not happen. Washington Post. They would be.
They would have a podcast. Woodward. Woodward and Bernstein. Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. You're right.
That would be how they would exist. I mean, I do think there are some. Look, corporate media is specifically more corporate now than it is media. I used to be a big fan of some morning shows, and it was because they were news heavy. And now I sort of fast forward through 75% of it, because they're trying to sell me goods, and they're telling me stories about shows they got coming up on their network. And I'm like, I want to deep dive like you used to do into what the conflict resolution is going to be, in the Middle East. Because I think the thing that corporate media does right sometimes is like what they did with the Pentagon. The Pentagon, which is an organization that hasn't passed an audit in the last few decades, and it's run by a dude who sent war plans to his family in a news magazine, and they're like, "Hey, it's the media that's the problem." It's the JD Vance version of explaining the problem. So the corporate media bound together, and that's what they're going to have to do. That's also what colleges are going to have to do. It's also what corporations are going to have to do, because this is an all-out assault on money. And this is what happens when you have unfettered capitalism, is that everything's dependent on money, and everybody will do everything for money. And if you can extort people, it'll work.
The colleges, though, isn't there like 3 colleges that said to him, no, we're not going to sign?
Yeah, this week.
MIT, who else?
UPenn, I think it was
UPenn. Community colleges in Ohio, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Ohio Community College circuit has stood strong. They're having their own no kings. No, it's a we can't name any kings day, I think is what they call it.
So, but Carole said something that it ties into all of this, that you said, like, Trump's not popular. If you watch corporate media, you don't get that. You're like, why isn't corporate media asking, where is the pro-Trump rallies?
I think corporate media needs to use quotes. I think that's their biggest problem.
No, but I'm like, this has been no kings tomorrow. They had one in June. They had a hands-off rally. There's been tens of millions of people in the street. The new AP poll came out today. Trump's approval rating down to 37%. Now it fluctuates a little, but I'm saying he is the most unpopular any second-term president at this point on the average of polling. If you watch corporate media, you don't get that sense. You don't get the sense that he's horribly unpopular, that there's where are no King's protests? Or you're pro-King's protests, whatever you want, or pro-Trump. And I don't know why corporate media won't ask that, because, Maureen, I think that's important. Like, why aren't they asking, where are the pro-Trump rallies? How come you don't have those?
Well, I mean, the corporate media is so in bed now with the administration. I was a journalist for many years, and I think there's a part of me that believes in the purity of it, that it's so important. And when I see them being extorted by him and paying, the major networks, paying them off, it's so sick to me. I like somebody like, Jason Salmon was asking before about, the deep dive. I like watching somebody like a Fareed Zakaria, who will bring in experts from all over the world and really talk about complex issues with the gray areas around it. I miss that terribly. And when I see somebody like Pete, let me go get another drink, Hegstuff, telling people, the press, that they have to sign like this pledge or something, I don't know what's happening, that they're only going to report the press releases he hands out. That's That is so crazy. And the reason the corporate media isn't standing up to it because he's extorting them.
Mhm.
They're in bed, there's no purity anymore. And I don't know, maybe my naivete thought there was at one time. And then they're undermining public television and that stations have to close around the country and they don't. So the whole thing is just falling and falling. And I find it so horribly sickening at a core level. And I don't know what to do about it. And then I watch the freaking social media dudes kissing his ass, all sitting around him. That makes me want to barf in a corner. And
Trump?
yeah, and I want to beat up Mark Zuckerberg. I feel like I could take him in a fight. I really feel like I just
You
want
want to fight Trump?
I just want to. No, I just can't. I don't want to punch it. I just
He's
look at Mark
specifically trained to fight women, by the way. I just
Trump
want you-
or Mark Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg. I want to put him in a locker in high school. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to do. I just want to like go back to high school and put him in a locker and go, "What the F is wrong with you, you piece of human crap?" I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about all of this, but what at a core, the loss of true journalism and the disrespect for it, and getting half the country, he started to do this in his first term, getting them to call the enemy of the people. And everything he is doing is what I used to read about Sakharov and the Russian Revolution and all this stuff. I'm like, what is going on? My head explodes. So I don't have answers, and I feel very powerless right now. I don't know what to do. Sometimes I turn a lot of it off. I move on because I don't know what to do on a daily basis when I see brown people being tackled to the ground, when I see what's going on in Chicago, when I see the undermining of journalism, when I see the misogyny, when I see these fat fucking fucks with their racial slurs wanting to lead the Republican Party. I don't know what to do. So I have good red wine and I play a lot of pickleball. That's what I got.
And I have peanut.
Oh, and Carole right now, for those not watching, but only listening, is holding her adorable dog up right now.
Oh.
Look, staying engaged is important. That's why Saturday's protests are important. And I
is.
hope that they're peaceful very, very much because Trump wants violence. We hope they're peaceful.
Please
So
don't be
it's gonna be
and on the plus side with corporate media is that the further you get away from the anchors, like I still watch it. I mean, I watch way too much and I listen to way too much because I'm trying to compile information. But the further you get away from the galas, the people who don't go to the galas, those people are actually still good, even at places like Fox. Like the further you get away from the talking heads, the reporters who are on the ground, they get closer to the truth. And those people are still functional. And what's great is that those people are still the crux of their news organization. So now you realize how far detached the anchors are on like the major media news programs from the reporters.
right.
It's a contrast now, but the reporters are still giving the
They're
information.
a good journalists. They're just navigating in a world that is corporate
Yeah,
media. It's a
it is a corporate
the
media
problem.
world. Yeah.
That's all.
Do you remember that this was going back many years ago? Do you remember the strategy room on Fox News? You remember
Yes.
that?
So?
It was a streaming show before streaming was
Oh
streaming.
yeah, we were on that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they always had comics on because we always were the liberals. And I remember one time, it was the last time I was ever on the show, was for some reason, this is before Harris Faulkner was an anchor. We were doing some kind of show,
Oh, on Fox News. Yeah.
And
Scott Blake used to go on all the time.
Right. Yeah. And Scott and I
Yes.
used to go on it together. And so at one point, like, it was during when Obama was president. And so we're doing a segment and she's reading something and bashing the shit out of them. And finally, I just leaned into her on live. I went, do you guys get a memo every morning? Like, these are the top 10 things we should talk about. And everyone is to make sure that Obama is horrible. And they never had me back on the show.
But they do. They do get that.
But that was what, 20 years ago? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so they get the anchors, like what Jason is saying, they get, this is what they have to say.
Oh yeah.
If you want to keep your job,
Right.
you're going to do that because
This is what they gave me today at SiriusXM right here.
Yeah.
But
And they also add, you
Thank
must
God
live
you
really,
can't read.
I know. I don't even know. It's an Aramaic. Well, you can say something, Maureen. I want
Sorry.
to switch to a quick topic.
well, all right. I just said in Fox, they also, you also must wear short skirts and very high heels. That's also.
I found it uncomfortable myself. Exactly. Let's go to this is a upbeat story. I'm not sure how it's going to play out politically, if it's not, or how, if there'll be any politics to it. But Governor J.B. Pritzker in Illinois, who's going to probably run for president, we learned that he won $1.4 million from playing blackjack on a vacation trip to Vegas last year with his wife and friends. He said, I was incredibly lucky. He said that he apparently likes to gamble. 1.4. I played blackjack. I've won $20. I played 60. Once I won $110. And I've lost a couple $100 here and there. His campaign told NBC News he made the money playing blackjack. This is so. I mean, does this make Pritzker look like a big winner, a gambler? Like, how does this play politically? I mean, it's kind of a cool thing that he won it, but that's a lot. Have you guys ever played blackjack? Who's played blackjack? Like, let me see.
I played blackjack a couple times. I got a White Russian at the casino. I mean, that's what I got.
You won an actual White Russian?
You get a free drink when you gamble.
Oh,
I got a White Russian.
How do you win one? So Jason, how do you get this place out politically? Like, they'll use it for him, against him. He's a winner. He's J.B. Pritzker, the big winner, $1.4 million. Like, if you go to the casino, there's a picture of J.B. Pritzker holding up the check for like $1.4 million there. Or did they use it against him and go like, the guy's got a gambling problem, and that becomes like a running joke or a defining characteristic? Because in politics, it's the simple thing that defines people.
Yeah, I think if you want to relate to the common man, and billionaire is not doing it for you. I think gambling and beating the casino is probably the way to do it. I mean, to be fair, that's sort of how Trump did it. Unfortunately, the casino was his own, and it got bankrupted by it. But he beat several casinos into bankruptcy. So it seemed to have worked for him. So maybe Pritzker's just, touching his toe into the water. He's like, hey, not my casino, but I did beat one. So
Maureen?
No, I love this. There's a slogan in here when he runs. There's something about like, I win at casino, I'm winning at casinos, Trump's a loser. There's something about,
Yeah. Always split aces, something like that.
Something,
Double down. I think it's interesting, like, I wonder if he had robbed a casino with George Clooney, it would have been kind of cooler. Like, we robbed a casino, we had a whole plan.
I think
Brad Pitt was involved, and was that cooler than actually playing blackjack? Because you know how much you had to gamble? Because to your point, Jason, a lot of people gamble, so that's a blue collar thing. It relates to people. But winning $1.4 million at blackjack means you put a lot of money down. Like, you put tons of money down.
If he had told me that somebody at the blackjack table yelled at him for playing so poorly, I would have related to that more.
Right.
Honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I get nervous when people gamble. Like, gambling bothers me. When I work at a casino, I do $25 at the end.
What do you do at a casino?
When I'm working, performing stand-up.
I'm kidding. I know.
You're dead to me.
Just being a jerk.
No wonder you lost the finance lawyer. This is why you lost the finance.
I came in third. Come on. Carole, what do you think, my friend? Winning over $1.4 million helps Pritzker, hurts Pritzker. Does it get used against him when he runs for president?
Well, first of all, I lived in Vegas. So.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. I was in Vegas for 10 years. I started in a couple of burlesque shows. So, first of all, my son's college fund, I think, is in slot machine number 7 at the Rio.
Yeah.
That's gone. That's why he never went to college. But you can win that type of money. You're betting. First of all, you're betting a lot of money. I mean, I remember watching. I think it was Jose Canseco at the Riviera. He was playing it, and he was betting thousands and thousands of dollars. So it can be done. It's not something any of us would do, because the looks on all of your faces right now, it's just like, what?
Vegas, burlesque. There's a lot of stuff going through our brains right now. We don't know what's going on here.
But the thing that's they're gonna try, the right is going to try to somehow make him into a degenerate gambler.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
You know what? I'm okay with that, because we have a degenerate pedophile in the White House. So I'm okay. We want to do degenerate shit. I'd rather him lose money than fuck 16-year-old girls. That's just me.
To be fair, degenerate gambling is technically the Republicans' financial plan. It's basically like, you guys put a lot of money in this and keep working and keep doing it. Eventually, you're going to win. You're going to beat the casino.
Do you think
that's basically That's
Right.
basically the
Do you think it's
Republicans.
a fun thing Pritzker could do, sort of like a Rain Man parody, like him and Dustin Hoffman go down the escalator together? And he goes,
Hilarious.
so we went, and he's like, we're counting cards. He's like, were you counting cards? We were counting cards, that kind of stuff. $1.4 million at blackjack. I don't know how you do that. That's a lot of money. It's a whole, all right. Last time, we only got a couple minutes left. I don't want to get everyone a chance to plug things, but I was just taking back Diane Keaton, who I did like very much. Woody Allen movies, The Godfather is one of my favorite movies of all times. I've watched it like probably 100 times or something. But the outpouring by people all over was really, I was like, wow, she really touched people. And I didn't know that was the connection she had with people. And maybe it's just my social media algorithm kept feeding me that, because I'm like, what is this? They really loved her. So, I mean, Maureen, were you a fan of Diane Keaton? Did you see this outpouring of support? Was it expected?
Well, I liked Diane Keaton, but I wasn't an ultra fan. But when she passed, I think she just seemed so healthy. And then pneumonia, you die of pneumonia? Like that was what really startled me, that she died of pneumonia. I'm like, oh my goodness, can
Really?
you die of that? You can.
I
That's what
guess you
people die.
can. I mean,
She's
if you're
also
just that,
79.
We're living in
Yeah,
RFK's
79, but she
America.
wasn't old, like an old 79 to me, you know? I mean,
But,
there are
Yeah.
people.
but even though she didn't look 79, she
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
79. And
Yeah,
that-
I know, I
there were
know.
things that
Go ahead.
no, but the thing is that that's one of the top killers of elderly people, and she was elderly.
oh, that's what
Wow.
happened. Well, Ace
Wow.
Frehley died today from Kiss, and he was only like in his mid 70s, and they said because he fell at home and then he died. I'm like, wow, I have to worry about that when I get older. Like, he fell at home and he
fell.
dies.
Yeah.
He's a
fell
rock
and
and
he
roll
had-
star. This guy.
he had a brain bleed because he fell.
Oh,
Jesus, it wasn't even skiing. This is crazy.
Yeah,
I
you got to be
can't.
Mitch McConnell, so when you fall, there's somebody there working for you
I
to
didn't put it on
pick
the
you
list
up.
because I didn't want to get into that, because it just seemed very. Mitch McConnell falling. If you watch the video, he reaches for the other guy before he falls. There was something going
Oh
on.
yeah. No,
He's
he
he knows
completely lost his
dizzy.
balance.
He was
Yeah,
getting dizzy,
he
and
was
he felt
out.
They
it.
said ice. They asked him a question about ice, and then he slid as if he were on ice. It was a very
Yes.
interesting
He's like,
thing.
Well
yes.
played there.
He
That's
yeah,
why.
Mitch
But it's
McConnell
true.
is doing congressional improv.
That's why you play the big room at the casino. Now I'm stuck in the side room playing 12 people. I did one casino ever. I opened for Russell Peters. He had me come down to Jersey there, and they were like, my stuff's like kind of political stuff. It didn't go well. This was years ago. It wouldn't go well now. It didn't go well then.
I mean, to be fair, the people who are watching the show at the casino are the people who aren't good at the other parts of the casino.
So he came in, they had free tickets. They liked Russell. I mean, it was his show. But for me, it was like, and Greg Gass was in the show too. And they didn't like his impressions. I'm like, what do people
Wow.
like? And they like just like Russell making fun of them. That was the whole thing. All right. Before we run out of time, I want to give everyone a chance to plug your stuff, because you're all great in your own right. Let's start with my friend Maureen Langan. Where can people follow you?
Please go to Instagram, Maureen Langan, Langan, and I'm going to be in Jersey, my beloved Garden State, on November 15th at Tips in Morris Plains, a rare Jersey appearance, because there's not a ton of places in Jersey. Tips in Morris Plains, come on out. I grew up around there, so it's like a homecoming.
That's great. And my friend Carole, what about you? Where are you going to be?
Same thing, Instagram, Carole Montgomery Comic. Next weekend, I'll be at the King of Prussia and the Valley Forge Casino with Funny Women of a Certain Age. And then November 8th, big show at the Paramount Theater in Middletown, New York, with Funny Women of a Certain Age. I'm really looking forward to that.
Great
But if
show.
you win $1.4 million at the casino, you might not do the other gig. I mean, you got to win big.
If I win $500, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
That's it. You got to
Andre,
do like,
yeah.
you got to ball like Pritzker. We got to come up with something like, I'm going to Pritzker this place. I'm here to Pritzker
I
the
like
crap.
that.
I'm JB in this place, baby. 1.4 million. Jason Salmon.
Yes, it's spelled like salmon. So type in J Salmon Comedy, and that's my social media handles. You can watch my wrap-ups every week. Dean hasn't, but you can.
Go ahead. Right after this, we're
And
gonna play in lieu of this.
every Friday I put those up. I'm going to be at Zanies in Nashville on October 29th, and the Improv in Hollywood on November 20th. So come out to those. I'll be Pritzkering it up.
Pritzker, by the way, Jason, do you lean into the Southern accent when you're in Nashville? You like
Heck
go
yeah.
hard with
Are
it?
you kidding me? Sometimes I'll bring a guitar on stage and I don't even play.
That's very good. Maureen, what has a counterpoint?
I
You
just
don't like
wanted to
Jason
clear
going
up one mystery that Carole left a little evasive about it. Burlesque, she was hosting the shows as a comedian.
Yes.
Oh,
In the
thank you, Cliff. And
Also,
Jason,
also one note, if you do look like me, don't wear a mask to the No Kings protest, because if they arrest you, that is going to ruin their cause.
All right, so very good. All right, you were all three great. I wish you the best at the casinos and the No Kings or the Pro
Thanks,
Kings
guys.
rally.